Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at the 2015 release by the Disney Store from their Star Wars Elite series of 12-inch action figures. And this particular figure we are looking at today is of none other than the Sith Lord Kylo Ren, as he appeared in the Force Awakens, the first film in the new trilogy. Okay, so this is the box that it comes in. Now, this particular item is not that old, really. It's only about 10 years old. It's not something that we usually do, but these figures are just phenomenal, so I have to show them to you. But anyway, this is the box it comes in, and at the very top it's got the Disney Store. It's got ages 3 and above. They've got 30 plus points of articulation. 30 points of articulation, that's amazing. And it says Star Wars Elite Series Kylo Ren. Warning, choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years. And it says premium action figure. Okay, that's the front of the box. I'm just going to spin the box round to see what we got printed on the back. So on the back, it says Star Wars Elite Series Kylo Ren. In collaboration with Lucasfilm, Disney Store is proud to introduce the Star Wars Elite Series, a premium line of toys featuring iconic characters from the expansive world of Star Wars. This exclusive collection is meticulously engineered and crafted with Star Wars fans in mind. A dark warrior, strong with the Force, Kylo Ren commands First Order missions with a temper as fiery as his unconventional lightsaber. Okay, and there you can see an image of Kylo, the figure, in fact, very good images of the figure, holding his lightsaber and his boots and his belt, and then his lightsaber handle, one with the blades in, and one is just the hilt. Okay, and at the bottom you've got all the copyright and warning and licensing information on the bottom of the box. You got the Star Wars logo and the Disney Store logo. Okay, so that is the back of the box. I think what we're going to do now, there's not a lot we can see inside while it's inside the box. I'm going to open the box. I'm going to take the figure out. Now, whether I can remove him from the backing card or not is another matter, but I'm going to certainly try. Let's get him out and have a good look at him out of the box. Okay, so I have removed Kylo Ren from the box, and hopefully we get a better view here. I mean, the figure is absolutely awesome. I can't actually take him off of the card because of how he's held in. But if we can just zoom in on his face there, you can see the mask underneath his hood. And I can just lift the hood back, and you can see his full mask there. The head does turn. But he's there underneath his hood, as you first saw him at the beginning of the Force Awakens. So I don't think the mask comes off though. No, it doesn't. So the mask is all part of the head, so you don't actually get to remove the head and see Ben Solo's face. So it literally is just the head, and his tatty old cloak. There's a few pulls around the edges there, which I think is how it was in the episode. And of course he's got his red bladed lightsaber, which you can see just there, and that's with the blades out. So you've also actually got the hilt of his lightsaber. If I just move in a little bit and zoom in on the hilt there, you can see it's available, it's there. As well as, so you've got both versions. So one is just the hilt and the other version is with his blades on. Now the arms wise, they're all in the black lace, but the articulation on these are fantastic. I mean, his hand's not strapped in there, so it just rests against the bubble there, but it's the articulation is amazing. It's like on a ball joint, so it rotates all the way around, plus you can move it from side to side. Yeah, absolutely amazing articulation there, and that's on both hands. You can see he's grasping the lightsaber with his other hand, and he's got interchangeable hands down here as well, so if you want to change them for whatever reason, the hands are there, ready for these ones to come off and the new ones to come on. I imagine they just pull off and then the new hands just push on. And if we just open up, let's just scroll down a little bit. Let's open up there. You can see he's in his boots. You got articulations of the knee joint and the feet, and his waist, incidentally, the elbows, the arms, and there's articulation at the tops of the arms as well as at the shoulders. So there is absolutely articulation. You just zoom in on that, so you can see you've got the articulation at the hand, the elbow, the top of the arm just here, and the shoulder. So there's loads and loads of articulation on these figures, and I mean, it's absolute blinding figure. I mean, they call it Elite Series, and it's hardly surprising because it is absolutely incredible. And there he is. Stands 30 centimeters tall, which is 12 inches. Let's go width-wise. Widest point is across his arms there. So we're looking at about 12, 13 centimeters, depending on how you have his arms. And depth-wise, if we just turn him to the side and put the ruler in, you're looking round about 7 centimeters deep. So there we go. That is the Kylo Ren Elite figure. And I do think this figure is absolutely awesome. I mean, his full attire is as he was, as that really evil Sith Lord in The Force Awakens, all the way down to his boots, and his cloak that would just move past. It has the cloak does actually have a stiff bottom there, so it's kind of like a wire that you can clip around the back of his shoes or his boots to hold it into position. So that's really good, and that's probably just how it was in the movie. And then of course that lightsaber is just phenomenal. The detailing on it is incredible. The blade looks absolutely fantastic, all the way to the end. It just looks incredible. And then of course then there's the other lightsaber there as we look at the hilt, and there's his additional hands. So yeah, I think these figures are just some of the best figures produced. I do say that a lot actually, but each time I see another figure, they're just as good or if not better. So, but the mask is phenomenal, identical to the one that was used in the film. He just looks so good with that hood on as well. Yeah, really fantastic figures. The technology has moved on so much for these figures, and they really make them absolutely splendidly now. Absolute fantastic figure. You couldn't ask for a better figure than this. I mean, I just think this is phenomenal to display this figure. If there was, I don't remember how many was in this actual series, or I don't remember how many I've seen in this series, but they're just phenomenal figures. To display them would be great. If there was a Rey one and we could have them displayed together, wouldn't that be awesome? But there we are. So how well do these do? Well, of course, it was one of the popular lines for Disney. The figures, well, they really just sold. They sold a phenomenal amount. But then they do have a lot of Disney stores around the world. So yeah, I mean, there's an awful lot of these figures sold. And with these figures, of course, they're all of them, even though they don't say it on the box, but they are all limited editions because they only run figures for a certain amount of time while the film is fresh and out, and then they move on to the next film. So these would have only been run for a year or two at max before they would have been discontinued and moved on to the next range. So the next movie, of course, after that was Rogue One, and then after that was The Last Jedi. So these figures were just that limited time between the Force Awakens and Rogue One. That was the timing when these were produced, and then finished. I just noticed that there's a like a bendy pipe cleaner in his hood there as well, so that sort of keeps the shape of it, and you can move that around and make that to whatever suits you, however you think his hood should look on him. I mean, it's just such a fantastic figure. I'm just completely overawed by this figure. It's just absolutely fantastic. They've done such a good job with these figures. I'd say probably these are, I do say it a lot, but I've seen a lot of figures, but I would say that these are probably the most articulate and heavily detailed figure that I think they've ever produced. So yeah, absolutely fantastic, and currently #1 in my eyes. But that could change because I see a lot of figures. The next figure may even be #1. But anyway, so yes, they did very well. You don't see so many of them around now. Because I mean, we're talking 10 years since these were released, so they're not particularly vintage. Although one thing I have learned over the years is vintage is described as a very loose term. Vintage really means toys from your childhood. Now, so if you was born in let's say if you're born in the 60s, toys that were produced in the 1960s is your thing. If you were born in the 70s, then the 70s toys were vintage to you, and so on. 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2000s and 10s to 2020. Well, you know, if you were born in 2010, that's nearly 15 years ago now. So 15 years is vintage toys to somebody who's now 25 and was buying these toys when they were 10. So there we go. It's a very, very broad spectrum of vintage. But so some people consider these to be vintage if they were their toys when they were a child. So it's all about toys from your childhood, really. Nostalgic may be a better word. But there we are. So do they come up very often these days? Not particularly often. They do occasionally come up on the platforms. Yeah. Some of them, well, no, they do come up on the platforms, and you do see a lot of them that are still sealed in the box, as this one is. You tend to see, when you see one, you see a few of them, and then you don't see them again for quite some time, and then you see one or two of them again come up. You do see a lot of loose figures, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of loose figures that appear on the platforms, but you do also get the ones like this, which is mint in the box. But just obviously be a bit careful when you order on platforms, because you just need to be absolutely sure that what you think you're getting is what you're going to get. Or alternatively, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few of these figures, and they're currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other Star Wars items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely sure you're not going to want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next time.